Yeah, testing. I think I should be being here heard clearly. Ah, Jesus Christ. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another session here, London session. Um, we're just gonna get real quick into it. So, guys, I'm feeling really tired. So welcome, guys, to another session here. We're just gonna dive straight into it, right? Something I want to cover real quick is some of the pairs that we saw moving downwards during the course of yesterday, Monday, and we have a recovery of those movements, right? So if you just take a look at examples such as I think GJ right now, all right? So and the other USD pairs as well, right? So we'll go over that just now. So GJ just really gave up on me, right? I'm just gonna remove these joints here. Start from the daily here. Alright, so you have 30 minutes until London session opens. So let's see what we can find here. Taking a look at the closer levels, this right here will be one level of interest. And you can see we have this long rejection candle here, this long bearish candle here, and that was from yesterday. As we saw with the situation in China with the COVID restriction protocols, all that really played sort of a bearish, really had a bearish tone on markets. And we saw that reflected here. We saw the yen pick up because, as you know, when we do have certain uncertainties and fears in the market, the yen usually tends to gain strength from those, from situations like that. So we saw the yen actually strengthen during that time. Now, we can see a recovery and sort of a weakness return to the yen during our, I believe around 7 o'clock from now, right? So around let's say 4 hours from now, right? About 3 hours, right, after this first 30 minutes pass, because we do have a statement coming out from China concerning the COVID protocols and what it is that they're going to do, and that should reassure the markets and thereby easing off of the risk off tone that we have been seeing since the week has started. Right, so if we do get that, then we could get possibly a correction of this bearish candle. So keep that in mind. Around 7 o'clock, we should see what the market takes from the news that we do get out of China in terms of the overall expectations. So if we get what we expect, such as sort of a reassurance towards the Chinese citizens as well as the global economy, what they're planning to do, whether it's up COVID vaccinations, or whatever the case may be, that will help reassure markets and possibly help this to actually recover from the current bearishness that we are seeing. But for now, this is what we're noting. We're noting this level here at the top. If you actually want to expand this a little bit more, you can look at this level right up here. Right, but I'm taking this recent level. Right, look at a 4 hour overall. We still have this sort of a bullish movement, right? Taking a look here at the left, we coming back into this sort of support here, right? We saw price move up very strongly, we fell back. This is where we're at right now. So if price manages to make some rejections from here, then we could possibly see price come back all the way back up here, right? From the initial start of that fall, we could see a recovery of that. Again, that depends on what we get coming out of China around 7 o'clock from whatever statement they do make, right? Which may or may not reassure the markets. So it would give a good opportunity to see this recover during the course of the day. All right, taking a look at the 1 hour. And we're gonna see what we could possibly get here, right? So overall, we are seeing this bearishness, this bearish tone. And the thing is, during market open, London session, and you get the volume, you want to go with the general volume, right? It's one thing to have your bias, and it's one thing to know how price action moves in times like this. So that being said, ideally, I am looking for longs, but in terms of a setup for right now, a short setup would be the best possible move here. Because looking at it, we do have clear and clean formations. Since yesterday, we saw price gradually fall, and we saw that bearishness step into the market. Now, if we look here recently, again, we note that we are in a we're in a strong zone, right? So you want to see price essentially push out of that zone and even further down with volume, right? So a target level will be somewhere down here, right? This will be our target level here, just because we did have recent rejections from here, that level, right? As price continue moving this upward movement, so price could possibly revisit back down in that area or even lower, right? So we want to go with the overall volume of the market itself. Hopefully you guys understand, and if anybody have any questions, feel free to ask. I hope everybody's hearing me clearly, right? So that's what I'm looking at right now. Essentially, if you want to get into a trade to the downside, if you get a close below this area here, then more than likely we'll continue, and we'll continue to see that bearishness until we see whatever China has to say in terms of COVID preventions, and that would either help the market recover from the overall bearishness, which at that point will take a buy setup and could possibly double down on GG, right? So I like to make this get a high possible yield. So this would be a trade for me here, right? My stops right above this level here, the candle high, right? As we continue in this downtrend, and we're just going with the overall volume, right? And another possible entry would be, once price does break this area, we could continue to the downside. So this would be my sort of setup right here, ideally, right? And if price manages to break down even more, then we should continue with that overall movement down. So I'm taking an early entry at this point right here. Again, my stops are right above this candle high, right? Because with volume we should continue pushing downwards. So this is a stop of about 20 pips, and obviously I would have this here to activate as price continue doing its thing, right? So this is my my setup right here. Again, I am still overall looking for this to actually recover, but right now, with volume coming into the market and the overall direction already chosen for us, this is the more logical, more probable scenario for me, right? This seems more probable as something to play out, rather than just a full-on rejection anticipating good news from China, right? And that's the thing with markets they have to understand, right? Even though markets are forward thinking, we need to be logical with our own thinking as to what they expect, right? So yeah, this will be the setup for me here. This was the initial entry around 3.94% here, and then a second entry once we do see that push down. Yeah, once that bearish push just come down and if we get a close below here, sorry, we should continue moving downwards, right? So this is my two possible setups here. So I'm just gonna take this right now, and anybody you could take this right here as well, anticipating price move down. Early entries, I'm risking around 3% per trade right now, and yeah, we'll just see what price happens to do. So this is what I'm gonna enter right now. If anybody have any questions, feel free to ask. All right. So this is the early entry here. Let's copy this. You just gotta go into the VIP group. right? No, that's the entry for me. So we'll just see what happens here. Right, essentially that is all we could really do right now, right? Anticipating volume to continue pushing price lower. Um, if we do hold this level again, because this is a strong level, right? And we see some rejections to the upside. If I am to enter long on this trade, I want to see a push above this area here, and then look for continuation movements, right? So this here, if we do get a push above, then that would help, really help, in terms of the overall bias being shifted, because now buyers will be in control of that bearishness, right? As you see, this is a short formation right here, right? You see the wick rejections from side here, price pushed even lower. We reach into this zone of importance, price came up. We saw that initially here, buyers tried to step in. We saw that creating this sort of a new resistance zone, and then this push back into the supportive level, right? So at that point, this is where we're holding, and now it's just up to volume to really drive the market. We should drive lower with the bearish sentiment already in play, and then coming towards the news release itself, that would help with overall movement. Maybe we might actually get some better tones, and price might start moving higher, right? So in that case, if that does happen, this would be the area you're looking at, if price passes, to continue with that upward movement, right? Even if volume does step in and we do see price climb up, I would like to see a close above here, and then the continuation to seem more likely, like more probable to happen, right? So that's it. More conservatively though, what you could do is just wait for that break right here, right? Because once we do see a break below this level, right, at that point, yeah, the sellers should continue holding this market, or we could drive it down even lower, right? So this is the trade idea, this is the setup I'm looking at. Yeah, not really much you could do but just wait for volume and let price does its thing. So we'll see what happens here. Alright, we can see this here in the 30-minute time frame. Alright, so once this level is respected, and price should continue driving down. So we could argue that we are in a sort of a range right here, but again, it depends, right? Volume should help this close lower here with the overall bear sentiment that we are seeing. That's something that we could expect. So we're just gonna leave it and let's do a thing. And yeah, next good possible entry would be after that close here. Just need to do something very quick, guys. So if this is too close for you guys, right, you could actually put it above the candle. Right above the candle is where I meant to actually put price. I'm still comfortable with this, right? I'm currently holding down this position, so we'll see what happens. And as price breaks lower, if we do get a break lower, then yeah, I'm gonna just stack it right here to continue moving down. So that's the trade for me. We'll see what happens. You see, we get a pretty good rejection here coming to the market open, right? We have 11, around 11 minutes remaining. So this is an uncommon to see right here. Um, but as market open does approach, we'll see how that candle forms, and that'll give a clear indication as to whether we'll see this continue rejecting from this area, right? Or if you're just gonna see price, correct this movement, this bullish candle that we have forming on in 30 minutes here, right? And then continue downwards. So you see price reverse from the area right here, currently. So what you could do, if you got stopped out right now, because again of that this sort of a reversal candle here, just making a top wick. Re-enter. I'll re-enter back in the same position. This would be the second chance that we give in price here, right? So I do give price two chances, right? This would have been the initial one. Again, we already have like 10 minutes remaining, and now this would be the second chance here, right? The second opportunity is when price comes back into this level, so be aware of that. Now let's see. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, I already entered a short position here, but I'm holding it, right? Because I am expecting the market to do like I just explained. So I'm holding it to see what price does. At this point, I do expect to continue moving downwards, right? With the overall volume that we do have already, sales being in control. The only way I will take a buy is if price pushes up into this area here and we see a bullish candle close. At that point, I think we could cleanly move to the upside, right? We also do have news coming from China, which will impact markets as well. So that's something you need to pay attention to. Moving on, right? I do think that would have a positive impact. So we might see a reversal on the yen strength. So all of that will help boost this, depending on what we see coming through the London session open, right? Just because price reversed here and well the 30-minute candle is pushing up right now, that doesn't give me any indication to actually take this as a signal to enter bullish or anything like that. Not as yet, right? This is something you could expect because again we are in this supportive zone. You want to see that being held, you want to see that being maintained. So as volume approaching to the market, coming closer to the candle close itself, we could see a fluctuation in price pushing up, down, whatever the case is. The time that matters is like that last minute of the candle close, because that's when we'll see where the volume is going to start moving, right? If it starts going down, then we just see this whole candle correct itself and close back down into here, right? And then we might get a continuation lower if the sellers are more in control. Vice versa, if buyers are in control at this point, waiting for that close above here, right? And even at that point, I would like to wait until the next half an hour to when that new candle opens, just to get a confirmation on the direction and see price continue moving upwards, right? So that's basically what I'm looking for. Yeah, so like I said, my second chance will be once price will approach this area here to continue moving down. A break lower here would be the sort of situation we want to see for continuations, right? So that's what I'm waiting on, and we'll see what price does right now. So I will actually put a alert here while we look at the other stuff, right? So AUD and this is the thing, right? A lot of the USD pairs that fell during the the situation with China, the news that happened over the weekend with China, we saw a recovery of that, which was anticipated. So right now, price did push back into this level. Paying attention to what comes out, right? News that comes out that would help push this along, maybe help first stones improve, right? At that point, you could enter more longs onto this, looking to see price continue moving upwards. Vice versa, right? So this is a level of importance right here to be paying attention to. Multiple times we did come back into this level right here, rejected, and now we're back into here, right? So we could just get rejection back from this level, right? We could argue that we are in a sort of a range. But again, if overall we do have more positive news coming out from China, then this will help improve risk tones. We should see a recovery of this, right? So I'm just waiting on that as well. And if you see, I am more trading like the 80 pairs and GJ for now. Just because the low volume situation, I don't really want to meddle with everything like I usually do throughout the course of the year, just because it doesn't make any sense. It's the last week of November and then we have December, and it's just like, yeah, it doesn't make sense stressing over it right now, right? That's not gonna help anybody. So I am taking my time, having a little bit more patience with my trade setups and everything, and yeah, we're just letting everything play out. This was a trade we also take here, 80 card as price came into this level. We did pull down a little bit, right? And then I re-entered and price actually pushed up again from that recovery expectancy. So this was a good trade. And 80 CHF, I actually did have a trade on this, but when I called it out in the study group, I actually sent 80 can, right? 80 can, and I didn't send the 80 CHF one. I didn't bother with it just because I don't want to put too much additional risk. So yeah, I just end up removing this one. But as you see, the two moved similar, and we saw that sort of recovery, right? We saw the initial drop, um, price made that supportive level, and then just recovered from the initial movement down to the downside. Moving forward, I am expecting to see that continuation. I'm just cycling through the charts right now. This was also good. Uh, Euro GBP. This was a trade that we took here. Risk 1.5%, and yeah, it played out pretty good. Could have possibly re-entered and being some profits, but again, not to be too greedy. We saw that after the initial push with the euro, I was expecting price to actually fall back down, right? So reach that high, and then we saw price correct that movement to the upside during the New York session, and I see we continue doing that right now. So overall expectancy continue with the corrections itself. For now, not too much going on too. So the GJ pushed up a little bit. We see that here as well. Um, take a look here. Actually, GP 80. I might be interested in going short on this, depending on what we get. Right. Hey. Welcome, guys. Please leave a like on the stream as it helps the channel out. I'm just mentioning that right now. It helps get the videos and get the channel out there. Recommend it to other people that may find this interesting or informational. So yeah, as you know, we're all about helping people here on the channel. So yeah, please leave a like. Subscribe if not already subscribed as well. And yeah, thank you for helping out the channel. Really appreciate it, guys. Okay, and GP80, right? Again, I am looking for a sort of a continuation fall from this level, right? More bullish on the 80 than I am on the GBP if we're looking at relative currency strength. But again, it's sort of a mixed thing, right? When it comes to the fundamentals. So for GBP JPY is all about the relative strength of the yen because of the overall excuse because of the overall sort of uncertainty that we are currently facing. Again, that China thing that happened over the weekend being the main factor, main mover. So that is like the key importance right there. Um, so that may help the, you know, um, if we do see more reassurance coming out from China, that will help strengthen the GBP in terms of this year on GPY, right? Because again, this is just the push downwards was just due to the uncertainty. When you have uncertainty, investors flee to the yen. It's more for safe haven currency, so on, so on, so on, right? So there's that. Now, in terms of like relative strength between the two currencies, the AD is more stronger. Risk on tones, heavily favor AD, well, assets like AD and NZD. So if we do see that recovery, we'll see a recovery of the risk sentiment. We'll see a continuation of the lower, on the downside in favor of the 80. So this is something to pay attention to. Again, ideally, that for better confluences, you would like to see price actually close below this area here. A nice bearish close will help with seeing possible continuation to the downside. All right, let's take a we have just a minute remaining actually, so I'm just put it back on this and we'll see what happens. Alright, so price pulled up pretty nicely. Even as we step into the first hour, I won't take a position in the first hour. I won't be too preemptive on it, right? If price doesn't come back down here, I am looking to take a buy, I'll be very conservative on it. Just because it doesn't make sense putting too much risk on it at this point. Because I already have my analysis, I already have my bias, and I'm sticking with that until shown otherwise. So I'm not too heavily looking on anything else right now. All right. So we'll see what happens. And again, we also do have that the China news coming out. So I don't want to be too preemptive on this if I do take a buying position. So we'll just wait and see. Alright, so you guys know at this point I'm just gonna have my sell stops in place, looking for price to actually push back down and continue with this over the course of the day. We'll see if that happens or not. Yeah, but I'm not gonna take buys just because price pushes up here. Alright. Yeah, that doesn't sit with me at this point. All right, so take a look at the 4 hour multiple rejections from this level. So yeah, this was something that we could expect. So let's see if we do get a close above here. Sure, you could argue we could come back up. Not really the cleanest. But looking at the overall volume, you expect to see if China news come out as well. That being a fundamental factor, will help the GBP recover in this between this cross pair. So that is something you could expect to see, right? Vice versa, I'm still sticking with my sell bias. I'm still looking to see price actually close lower here, and then a continuation even lower back into these lows here. I do think this is highly possible and probable. So henceforth, I am sticking with this until shown otherwise indefinitely. That would be like after second blood. Like if the news come out and it's like, China's like, nah, we're gonna we doing everything we could. You all don't have to worry about anything. If supply chain issues, it's gonna remain the same. It's not gonna elevate or anything like that. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Then yeah, all right, should see price recover. But at this point of time, I'm not gonna try to anticipate or guess what China's gonna say. I'm not gonna do that. That doesn't make sense, right? So sticking with my bias right now. We'll see what price has in store for us. I'm just gonna leave it at my position here, and as well as another position to open if price does continue pushing lower. To make this 6 and 4, so that is 10%. I'm risking 3%, so that's around 50%, right? So we'll see what price does. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna stick with that. unless we see all of that from coming from China, I'm not gonna risk the buys at this point, right? Just because my ego dictated. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at. You guys have it. You can take it if you want. If you don't want to, then don't take it. I have to. I apparently I have to say this every time that I do this now. I am not a financial provider. I'm not a financial provider. Or advisor. That is the word. Not provider. Advisor. So please take this at your own risk. It's your money. Nobody's forcing you to take the trade. Yeah, you have the power to stay out of this if you want to, or enter it if you want to, right? I'm just telling you what I'm doing from what I'm not doing, and yeah, you do what you want to given that information, right? Everything else, very invested on this, right? I do think we could continue moving upwards, but again, I'd like to see a break to the upside on that, to make that a possibility, like a better confirmation for that movement up. Otherwise, I'm just gonna leave it for now, right? 80 card 80 cards, same thing. I do think that once we target back into this area, price will continue like fall again. We'll just see this sort of a ranging movement until shown otherwise, which would be a break above this level, right? And not just like a break, but like a strong bullish break, right? A nice strong candle to the upside. Let's take a look here on the daily. Right, so we have all this here acting as resistance, right? All this resistance. So a nice strong close to the upside, sure. This would be, best for, probable continuations moving up. However, for now, I do think like once price does reach into this area, I'll look for possible, a possible sell scenario. Just because overall that is what we've been seeing on for the past couple of days. We've been seeing price continue doing that until something else does come out to give a sort of a clear bullish momentum push. Then yeah, I'm just gonna trade what I see, right? We have ECB news coming out here, speech, high impact. All of this here really do have to be paying attention to. This is just part of the euro area, so it doesn't really have much effect on the markets themselves. So that's not something that I'll be paying attention to. All this news event here, nah, CPI for, nah, that's not important. Anything else? All right, so we have GDP for CAD coming up as well around 9:30 a.m. So this again is something to pay attention to. As you can see, the growth itself is expected to see it have a consensus less than the previous, which is bad for price. But in terms of like sentiment and what we want to see happening is good, because that means that okay, the interest rates, inflation coming down, all of that, consumer spending going down and whatnot, right? So that would be sort of good. But in terms of like the current outlook, because you're looking like on a day-to-day basis or week to week, whatever the case is, right? This is not like a long picture type of look, right? It's like, okay, how this is gonna add up in 2023, right? Gonna see inflation come back down. No, we're looking at, we're trading now for now, right? So this would have a negative, a bearish impact. Well, should have a bearish impact, I would say. But it all depends. It all depends on what we see, right? So for 80 CAD, price pushes in. I am expecting that to kind of hold and pull back down. I would take my sell setup. I would take my sell setup here. But I would be aware of the news upcoming for the CAD, and let's see. I'll just look to see how that plays on the overall price action for the Canadian dollar, right? And we have some 80 stuff happening, and that's it. Not much for the US, the USD. And again, the only other thing that we have to pay attention to that's not here is the China news, right? And that's it. And tomorrow is when we have all the good stuff. We have FOMC, I believe. Yeah, we have Fed Powell, speaking, and we also have CPI, core inflation rate for the euro area. This is the high impactful stuff for the euro dollar. So that's also something to pay attention to. So we have a lot of news tomorrow. All right. Today is a kind of relaxed day. I'm not taking a look at all of this here. So today, in terms of news, very relaxed. Anybody have any questions? Anything that you'd like to look at? Just let me know, and we could do that. All right. So price pulling back bearishly. Well, now started only first 10 minutes, so this could just correct on itself. So please note that don't take this too early, risking too much just because you hear I'm risking 3%. The trade. I'm doing that because my risk tolerance is high, right? I had a good couple of weeks from inside the VIP group. We have a good couple of weeks, so we have gains that we could play with, right? So to speak. So I'm able to risk high to get better yields, get more returns and stuff per trade, and that's what I'm doing. It's something I like to do, compounding my gains, and it's part of a very complex risk management system. Um, it's simplistic, and like if I explain it, it would be simplistic, but the implementation is what's complex about it. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, so far November has been pretty good. First week was ass, not gonna lie. Um, but the second, third week was great. Well, this is the third week, kinda. No, actually, this is the last week here. Right, third week was last week. That was good, and the week before that was good as well. Right, and yeah, we're just gonna continue doing that. December, I'm not gonna be as active just because I'm not expecting too much from the markets, right? It doesn't make sense trying to force a trade when there's no trade to be taken, as well as when there's no volume to help your trade move. That doesn't make sense at all, right? Unless you want to trade a range and scalp and stuff like that, then go for it. But for me, that just seems like unnecessary stress. So I'm not really gonna be trading this summer. Probably like the first 2 weeks, like the last 2 weeks, I just want to spend time cleaning and really preparing for like Christmas or whatever. Um, Not two of us don't really very Christmas celebrations, but I like to be in a clean home, right? So that's something that I'm going to be doing as well. I just take some time to spend with my family. Um, yeah, but the December month, probably just like the first 2 weeks are nice. I'm gonna chill, and then we'll come back for January, which should be pretty interesting, especially with the news that we have coming December. We have some interest rate stuff to pay attention to. So we really see how that would influence January trading, and it should be a pretty good ride, right? I'm thinking to make at least, I would say at least. I don't want to jinx myself, but around 10%, like minimum 10% for January, and max 40%, around 40%, and then by that, the other months, like for the next 3 months, during that period, I'll try to make at least around 6 to 10%, right? Which is good, right? Nothing's wrong with that. A lot of people, when you hear 6% a month and stuff like that, they feel discouraged by it. And it's like, I don't understand why you feel discouraged. That's like great, making 6% consistently every month. If you could do that, at the ending of the year, you made a return of 72%. 72%, guys. That's depending on like what your account size is and stuff like that. Then sure the number would be different for everybody and it'll have like hold a different sort of value. But in terms of overall profitability, if you can maintain that, that's pretty good. That's really, really, really good. I've traded makes around still, I believe 4% max returns, like professionally, yeah, around 4% max returns on consistently on a consistent basis or something like that. All right, so anything above that is just considered out of this rule. So yeah, candle closing, welcoming bearishly. We might get a bearish continuation and just see that bearish pressure just kick in, right? So I'm just gonna leave it. What it does, it does. The only other thing, like I said, AD CAD push into here, looking for possible sells. AD USD, I'm gonna leave it for now, right? Until I see like an improvement on restore, so I'm not gonna look to risk it to try and get this other trade. So everything else, wow, GBP, sorry, Euro GBP, actually push even lower. Yeah, everything else, yeah, we're just gonna leave it for now. See how the DXY actually looking. Yeah, so DXY, we saw this recovery, right? Again, this is buyers just trying to maintain that zone, because I mean, if we get pushed past this area, then it's just a shit storm for the USD. Um, so really maintaining, sorry, we're really maintaining this area here. Um, and yeah, it's just the importance of whether we're gonna see price actually push lower, or just gonna see price just bounce back and forth between these two areas, between this area and this area here that I marked, right? This is like a very, it's a substantial zone, but not like the other major zone that we are looking at in terms of resistance areas. But price is just kind of navigating up and down between those two areas, right? So we kind of just trading in the range, right? We're just waiting in water, waiting for a direct and more concise movement from price, because right now the US dollar is kind of indecisive. So we're just seeing this back and forth in terms of the overall currency strength, and we're seeing that reflected on the charts, the USD cross pairs as well. So this, I don't know, we could probably continue down for the day, by which the other currencies will continue up, for the NZD, GBP, and so forth. So yeah, it's anybody's guess what could happen on this. We don't have any news or anything to be a fundamental catalyst to really decide or have a decisive move to whichever side, up or down. So yeah, it's just doing its own thing. Can't really do anything about that, which makes like the USD trading, like USD side of trading, sort of a riskier thing to do, right? And why trading volume is so much better for now, just because of that indecisiveness in terms of the currency strength. So we can't really, we don't have anything to give us an edge in terms of picking probability of where price will move, right? It's just doing its own thing, and I guess you would just have to do guesswork to really figure out, how to make possible gains from trading a USD currency cross pair. All right. Anybody have any questions? Everybody here, leave a like. Thank you much for the 4 likes. You guys are the day ones. I'll ride with you guys. All right. That you're the people. You're the people that are gonna really prosper, right? And really get the informational value from the stream. Absorb everything. We watch it. It's up there for you guys to digest and understand. If you have a difference in opinion, or you have a question as well, feel free to hit me up in the Discord, right? Whether it's in the Trader Talk section of the Discord community, or message me privately. I really like to hear you guys' ideas and your take on the markets, and we could run a discussion back and forth. Unlike everybody else that in the trading world, I'm not that like inclusive, exclusive, or whatever. Like, I like to, help where I can, offer a difference in opinion, as well as even get a difference of opinion from you guys. Maybe you might see something that I don't see, because we're all learning, right? We're all still learning. So yeah, I don't claim to know everything. Never have, never will. There's always something to learn. I think just understanding that would make you a better trader, because you know that, okay, there's room for improvement. There's things that you can do, things that you're not seeing, that you could get a different perspective from, and you'll be like, that makes sense. So yeah, thank you guys for joining the live stream right now. Another thing that I'd like to take a look at, even though I don't particularly trade it like that, is the indices itself, right? US 30 and NAS 100 and stuff. So when you see the US dollar actually recover, we just see this falling, right? We do see stocks fall. Right now stocks have been just for the past couple of days, it's been soaring pretty nicely. Like, look at this. So from October, let's see, like from here, from October 13th, just a straight soar to the upside, right? Overall, we did have this sort of like bearishness, like from right here. We have price kind of going down, but long term, if we just scroll back, it's been rising gradually. It's been rising, and because this is a daily time frame, right, we're looking at everything in between when we are currency trading. but on the overall time frame, like the overall movement itself, it's been rising steadily. Um, with that being said, we did have some unforeseen things, and there's always news and stuff playing in on the potential movements, and stuff like USDT, NAS 100 and whatnot, and also like when we have USD strength, this is just continue to tank. Right now, I would say just buy. Like me personally, I'm seeing buys, but I don't trade stocks. I don't trade stocks. I don't trade the indices, nothing like that. I would say that this could continue moving upwards. For now, to see that continuation, I like to enter a trade for a continuation move to the upside. I would like to see a nice bullish kind of close. Right, I don't want to see like these wick backs or anything like this. I want to see like this just get cleared. Right, again, also like on the DXY, I would use it in like together, right? I'll use it like to correlate with each other. So if this does actually continue to fall during the course of the day, we'll see a rise in stock because this displays the overall USD, the dollar currency index it displays the overall USD strength, right? So with that being said, if this continues to fall, then this actually will continue to rise. This being the level that we had to clear first. See a strong bullish close to above, and I do think we could continue into these rejection areas here, or the initial pull down, right? So like clearing back up to here is something that I think is possible to see during the course of the day, right? Based on anybody's guess, markets could just switch up during New York session, so don't enter preemptively. Just wait and see, right? So this is something that I think you could potentially get into. But again, that's just like my personal opinion, my humble opinion. Um, as it market's not doing too much. Get those bearish push. Actually, this pushing pretty nice. Right, so not too much going on. Also again, low volume situation, right? So all of that is something to pay attention to. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna end it here. Hopefully you found this informational and you got some value out of it. I don't know why my tongue is twisting like that. And you do have my overall view on this of what I'm expecting to see. I don't have any reason to change it right now. I'm just gonna stick with my bias for now. Right? So that's it from me. Um, if this does clear above here and you want to enter long, no means I don't want to stop you, but for now I'm just just looking for these sales gradually to continue. Yeah, right, and I'm not gonna try to preemptively enter here with this current candle forming here, right? So that's it from me, guys. This is positions I do have. Again, risking 10% in total. Well, yeah, around like 10, 6, well, 6% actually. All right, for overall 10% gain. So yeah, that's it from me. Yeah, so we'll see what price does during the course of the day. I'll update you guys as always inside the Discord group, the VIP, and also anybody that joined from the the normal trading group as well. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm waiting for. Thank you guys for joining. If you found this educational, you got some value out of it, leave a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Really helps the channel out. Gets it out there to your YouTube algorithm. And yeah, this will be uploaded. Obviously, it'll be posted for you guys to review for your consumption. Alright, so thank you for joining, guys. See you next one.